dedicated, greatness around, every heart elated. Mentors guiding, streets filled with dreams, planting seeds, yo, you know what it means. Volunteer vibes, energy unmatched, building our empire, every goal attached. Young ladies aspiring, greatness in their veins, breaking every barrier, shaking off the chains, service in their spirit.
Hi everyone, I'm Janaya.
I'm Maya.
And I'm Jakaya, and we are YLAG. Today we are joined by our older sister who is an OG. Her name is Mari, and today our topic is going to be image and reputation. So the first question I have for you guys is, what comes to mind when you hear the words image and reputation?
I would say it's how people perceive you. You know, it's how everybody sees you. Like, if that's how somebody points you out in the crowd, that's what makes you you. So, like, if you walking past somebody says, "Oh, who's that?" "Oh, yeah, that's Jakaya. You know, she done did this, and this. She has the ice cream shop, whatever." Whether that's a good reputation or a bad reputation, it is genuinely on you because of how you decide to show yourself to everyone else. But, yeah.
I totally agree. Like, when I think of the word image, it's a display of something. So if you see a picture of a dog, like, you think the emotions and the feelings that come along with that. Mm-hmm. So when you see a person, like you said, there's those things that maybe think a good thing about that person or maybe a bad thing about that person, but it's what that person is displaying to everyone else.
Mm-hmm. I would have to agree. I do feel as though, like you said, like your image is how people perceive you. It's what you look like. It's how you present yourself. But I feel like reputation is what people remember. So it's like, how do you constantly show up? So how did you, like, your image, how was that every day? What was your character? How are people, what was your impact that you had on people? I feel as though some days you are allowed to have like a day where it's like, I just have a poor image. Like, I'm just having a moment. But how do you constantly show up to people, and how do you make them feel around you? Or what does your character speak to you? I feel like that's where your reputation comes into play. It's like this consistency of you, or the constant of you.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with what all y'all said. Like, image is a huge part of you, and it's like how you view yourself and how others view you. Mm-hmm. So I feel like it's very important, and the same with reputation is how you're talked about, how you're perceived. So you would want it to be good. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys, I'm going to move into another question. So how do you guys think that friends and relationships can positively or negatively affect you and how you are perceived or your reputation?
I definitely have something to say, and this is just what I was personally always taught, is like, you are who you hang around. And I think that you can, like, for myself personally, I'm definitely friends with a lot of different kinds of people, but you're going to gravitate towards people that are like you. So the people that you hang around are probably going to be things that you have in common with, or common activities that you guys like to do. So I feel like that kind of describes, like, your friends and how your reputation is for them. You'll be with people that are similar to you.
I think that's so dope that you understand that at this age. Like, when I was your age, I was one of those, like, my grandmother would always say birds of a feather flock together. And I was like, no, that's her life. That has nothing to do with me. But to your point of, like, you hang around who you are, or certain avenues. Like, I used to hang around certain people, and I was like, I didn't like that. But then I started seeing certain qualities and traits of me coming out that I didn't like in them. And when you start hanging around people who don't hold you accountable, who don't push you to be your best self, you start taking on these characteristic traits that you really don't want to have. So like you said, you hang around those, or you attract who you are. I wish I would have kind of understood that a little earlier in life. For me, I used to be like, no, I got my own mind, but I would see myself starting to, like, take in, or kind of like become like a chameleon. I would camouflage into certain areas, and then when I found myself being in those spaces that I didn't want to be in, I was like, maybe I should back up from that. So,
I feel like my little group of friends, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I feel like, boom, you can have your own reputation by yourself, and then your friends can have their own reputations. Now, whether you decide to adapt to, like, the type of reputation they uphold is, like, a huge choice. So, like, I know me and my friends, we're all different. Like, we're all very versatile and stuff like that. But I feel like as a collective, we all hold a good reputation and a good name. And it doesn't just reflect off of the whole group. So, like, my sister, she is a cheerleader. She's a good student. She's a very kind, caring person. That's how everybody knows her. Now, not everybody, may see me the same way, but that's how they see her. So, of course, they're going to think, okay, she hangs out with good people, but they're still going to be like, that's just her by herself.
Like you have your own identity.
Yeah, like I have my own.
That's true.
I have my own personality and stuff like that. So I feel like whether you let that perceive you or change you into their reputation is kind of based off of, you know, what you decide to do, how you decide to live your life.
And I also want to answer that because, like you said, you can have friends and y'all do different stuff, but also like other people will look in and be like, oh, that's the girl that's always fighting, that's the girl that's always talking to other people's boys, doing all this, and that's her friend, so she's sticking right beside her. So that's what they think. They're like, oh, they roll together, that's what they do. And like it's a reflection of you. Even like if your friends are in a lot of drama, girls gonna try to involve you in drama. Stuff can happen like that where them be like, oh, that's her friend, we know that she's probably talking about this too, so we don't like her either now. And it just gets worse and worse. So I feel like that's another part of it.
I really have something to add on this, and like I constantly think about like the Disney Channel movies, like where it's like two people that are opposites but they're still good friends, but one person steals from the store. It's they're not, if they see two girls together and one girl's stealing but the other girl's like, no, I have my own personality, I'm not a person that's stealing, you're still both getting in trouble. Now you might be your own person, but
You're an accomplice.
You're accomplice. So when you're with people that are acting that way, or they don't have a good rep, and I'm not saying that people don't make mistakes, but if they're known for something bad and they constantly are making that, just because you're with them, you can get that association just from being around them. You might not be like that, but if one person's stealing and you're not, if you're still going from store to store with them, you're still, like you said, an accomplice. You're participating in that just as much as they are.
Okay, so now, oh, my bad.
Excuse me. I was just gonna take a little load off of you.
We go after this. Okay, so now that we talked about friends, what do y'all think relationships do to your reputation or image, or do they affect them at all?
When you mean relationships, you mean like dating? Okay.
I feel like it depends on like how you are as a person. I don't know. I feel like that. I say that about a lot of stuff because I feel like you are your own person. You have the capability to, you know, change what you want to change, do what you want to do, whatever the case is. So I feel like if you have a loved one or a partner, and you know, let's say y'all relationship is good, and you display it out to, you know, everybody else, like social media, you pop out on social media. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, all right, cool. Everybody is gonna know y'all reputation as a couple. Oh yeah, you know, they aren't toxic, they do this, they do that. But I feel like if, you know, you display all the bad ideologies of what your relationship is, like, I don't know, I feel like it's one of those situations where private, not secret. So I feel like if you display all different parts of your relationship, then everybody is going to come up with their own idea of what your reputation is. So I feel like you will never have a solid one unless, you know, you show only a little bit, like, and you keep everything else behind the curtain. Because, like, boom, 1 minute y'all cool on Instagram, next minute you don't put in your notes, oh yeah, I hate him. Whoa! like now everybody think y'all toxic and y'all arguing and stuff.
And then when you get back together with them, that just makes it
oh, they wishy-washy. Y'all, like, so that's what they're gonna perceive y'all as a couple. But I feel like if y'all, you know, keep certain counterparts to yourself, work stuff out private, you know, just not keep everything in the dark but not show everything to the light neither, then I feel like y'all will have a good reputation as like, oh, they together. You know, that's their business.
But I feel as though it goes back to like the birds of a feather flock together, or back to like you hang out or you attract who you are. So let's say, for instance, I'm in a relationship with a known guy who like
Get around.
Yeah, Jesus. I guess because like I'm a little older. I'm the older sister for y'all, so it's like for me, I guess like the issue, like let's say I'm dating a guy that's known for like not like following through. Let's just say that like he doesn't follow through with keeping a job or keeping like, you know, a job or something set a point. So a bum, or maybe he just going through life, girl. I don't know. But so let's just say he doesn't keep a job. So then what happens is if everybody knows he doesn't keep a job, then if I'm dating him, they're looking at me like, oh, she take care of him. So I think it's one of those like, if his reputation is bad, then it looks like, well, she's allowing that, or she's dating him, so that means she might be a bad person. So I feel like with a relationship, there has to be some sort of alignment, or some sort of alignment, or that woman or whomever's in that relationship has to be so strong-minded where it's like his reputation or his image of himself is never going to impact me. But to me, from what I've seen and experienced, that's not real. I've dated a guy before. He didn't travel, or he wasn't a person who just loved learning. So he wasn't going back to further education, and then it made me stop traveling and stop wanting to be in school, because it's like, where you're not pushing me, or it was hard for me to do homework around him because he didn't understand, like, I can't sit up and watch TV, which we're not got an assignment to do, or I want to go on a trip for my birthday, but you're making fun of me because this is the money I spend to go on a trip, but that's not who he is. So I think it goes to with alignment. So to answer your question, I do feel as though image matters when it comes to relationships, because how that person carry or perceives themselves, it then plays off onto me, because
it's how they're gonna treat you.
Yeah. And then it's allowed. That's what I'm allowing. That's what that becomes my everyday. And I see, like, I feel like iron sharpens iron. You're only as good as the person next to you. I could be the most bombest person ever, but if I'm constantly hanging around, like you said, in lack of better terms, a bum, eventually I'm gonna start having bum traits or qualities. But if I get too bummy, I gotta let the dude go. 'Cause it's like, you know what? That's not who I am.
I'm not a bum. I'm not a bum.
Yeah, like, that's not my reputation. That's not how I've constantly shown up as. I haven't constantly shown up as a bum. So I have to, like, back up, because your image is now about to mess with my image.
Yeah, also, like, if they, like, hitting you, or they disrespecting you, or they disrespect
just
other
shouldn't be that in
females.
general, girl.
Some girls will stay.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think
But yeah, if he has that reputation of hitting someone, now if he's with you, the world is gonna be like, oh, he be beating her up, or he hits her.
Yeah, she
That
gets
sounds so
beat.
insensitive. I'm
Disrespect
sorry.
her,
He's
yeah.
hitting her. Yeah. But to your point, it's like, but that's not what he does over here. But if that's his image, people are gonna see that and assume that
She
that's
allow
what's
that.
going on. Like how you said about, like, on social media, if people constantly see that, that's what they're gonna assume is happening within your relationship.
Private, not secret.
Yep.
So I'm telling y'all, everybody
Y'all shouldn't even be in relationships.
down.
Oh my God, y'all have so much life to
18.
live. 18? Oh my God, if I could talk to my 18-year-old self, y'all relax. That's gonna come.
I'm so irritated. She said, let me continue.
okay, y'all. I feel like we gotta talk about, like, high school, because that's the big where your image and reputation comes up. So what do y'all think that, like, young girls mess up when they go into high school? Like, how do they mess up their image or their reputation?
Y'all want to be so grown so fast. Because when you say your image, that's where it's at, is big. It's like, no shade, no tea. Who are you in high school? I'm 30 and don't know who I am. I'm constantly reinventing myself. I feel as though, like, when you think about high school, it's like y'all are just coming into yourselves. So I think it does suck sometimes when people mess up their image so early in life, because it takes them so long to get out of that. Like, once somebody has it in their mind, that's who they are. It takes them so long to get out of that or to rebrand themselves. But I don't know, y'all in high school, aren't y'all, like, still figuring out who y'all are and what y'all like?
Yeah, I feel like definitely in high school, and for me, like, just graduating, in high school you do learn a lot more about yourself. Definitely, like you said, you're not going to know everything about yourself, but you learn a lot more about who you are.
Yeah.
But it's also, like you said, you can still be naive to those around you, because they're also doing the same thing and learning about who they are. Like, I always use this example, and I know we had another podcast about friendships, but I was really close friends with this girl in middle school, and, like, we're still, like, cordial and we're still friends now, but obviously going from middle school to high school, it's a big difference. Like, you're older, growner, whatever, but your friends that you might have been best friends with in 8th grade, they might decide she wants to go talk to this guy, or she wants to do all these things that maybe I don't want to do, and that's when you have to just learn, like, is that someone I want to be around, or am I going to, like, learn more about myself and choose the right path, or learn more about myself and follow someone else. So I feel like definitely in high school you have that, you're, like, I guess, being tested to learn more about yourself, but you're definitely not going to, like, know everything.
Yeah. No, I wasn't trying to say that. But
Yeah.
to your point, I think also, y'all have to understand, I personally feel as though when you get to high school, that's when you learn how to, like, truly independently think for yourself and make your own decisions. You got to think about it. Elementary, your parents kind of influence a lot of things. Middle school, kind of friends, your parents still had a hand in things. High school is now you're thinking for yourself, and now that's where, like, to your point, you're coming into, I don't want to be friends with this person. That's not who I am in this space anymore in life. So I don't want to diminish saying, like, I don't feel like y'all have certain things because it's high school. No, I do agree with you. I do feel like that is where you first start independently thinking on your own. Well, not first, but that's where a lot of it takes place.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, the first thing that always goes wrong is, like, I feel like it just starts in 9th grade. Because, like, you know, when you're freshman
Really middle
year,
school.
yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like when you get out of your 8th grade and you're going into your freshman year, like, the first thing you think is, oh, I'm in high school now. I'm lit. I'm here. I'm there. Y'all not catching me. Like, oh, my God. And then you start making all of these bad decisions because, you know, like, everybody says, oh, like, your freshman year doesn't matter, you know, like, that's when you're going in and all this other stuff is happening. But I feel like it always starts there because, like, the decisions that you make your freshman year and then you go back to that high school and then, you know, everybody like, oh, ain't you the girl who you did that? Didn't you slap the teacher last year, girl? What you got going on? Like, and then, you know, from that point on, it's going to be you're the girl that slapped the teacher.
Yeah.
Like, that whole 4 years. And then it's like, you know, of course you can't, I feel like you can change it once you get to college because that's not going to, you know, that's not going to follow you. You know,
but you can change it prior to college. But to your point, you're going to forever be the girl that slapped the teacher. And everything that you do after that kind of gets overshadowed.
Like, I was thinking about it, like, we had our graduation, and we have so many people in our class, but, like, you remember people, but you don't, well, you haven't seen them. And, like, we might have not in the same classes. Some people do our career center, and we'll be at graduation. Like, we were standing in the gym, and we're like, isn't that the girl who did this? Like, we remember them for maybe something that they did freshman year. And I might not know who they are now because I haven't seen them in 2 years. We might be walking across the stage at the same time, but the last thing that I remember from them was what they did freshman year. And I'm just not saying that that's, like, it's not a big problem for me because I'm not really impacting or interacting with them every day, so they don't have to mind what I'm thinking.
It's none of your business.
But, like, that is what they gave off. That's now their reputation. When I see them, that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
It's funny you say that because literally last night, me and my best friend was on the phone, and we were talking about, like, all the people we know in our class. And we're just, like, kind of scrolling through, and we're like, I'm like, who is this? They go to school with us?
Yeah.
How long have they been here?
Well, like, I've seen them, but then, like, it's been so long. They gone to a different school, came back, or, like, I don't remember who they were when they were 13, 14. So, like, they're, like you said, they're 18 now. They're grown. Well, adult. So, I don't know how they could have changed throughout those years, but all I remember is maybe what they did at the homecoming dance freshman year.
I felt so terrible. I felt so terrible. Scrolling through, I'm like,
who is this person?
Do I know?
Did she even go here?
I'm like, when did they come here?
Like, how you make friends too, because like, or how people treat you, because I know a lot of girls in my class, I'm like, I don't want to hang with her. She's always in mess. She's always talking about something. I don't want to be around that. Or she's always with a new boy and it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. I don't want to be around that, and people might not tell you stuff or exclude you because of that. So I also feel like you got to learn young to, like, that what you say and what you do matters, and people will remember that stuff. Like, I got taught that young, but I didn't really start, like, knowing it until my junior year when I really was just self-reflecting. I'm like, how do I want to be known? And I feel like you got to have that conversation with yourself, maybe like with your parents, even though sometimes you don't want to hear them. It's very important to have those conversations with them and what you can do.
I didn't understand that lesson specifically until I want to say last year, like my junior year, because like I was, you know, going around, I'm doing all these shows, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, like, and then that's when, you know, that one trend that was going around where it's like, look yourself up on Google, and then I did it.
Were you on Google?
Yeah, I was on Google. And I'm just like reading all the stuff it's saying about me. Like, it wasn't nothing bad or nothing, but I'm just like, how do they know this? Like, where's the cameras at? Why are y'all watching me? What's going? I called Miss Sherelle. I said, Miss Sherelle, I said, what they got all my business on Google. They got all my business out here, Miss Sherelle. So I'm like, I like got very, very paranoid. Like, I started, like, I was like, dang, like, I really have to watch what I say and do around here because, like, y'all really are out here stalking me. This is terrible. like all of my business is out
stuff
here.
People,
like,
if it's bad stuff, people can use it against you too.
Like, I was thanking the heavens that it wasn't nothing bad, but I was still just kind of like, I was like, what? How did I know this? This was years ago. I forgot about this. Yeah. Oh, y'all got pictures? Okay, now I feel like this is the time to introduce my question. Do you think that you can change your reputation if it already is bad?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are constantly, we are matter. And if you think about it in science, matter is constantly moving and growing. Like, no one, like, God forbid if somebody would, like, still hold me to something that I did at 16 and I'm 30. Like, that's not fair in life. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that just comes with growth. That just comes with age. That just comes with years of just experience of knowing, like, it's okay to make a mistake or have a reputation, or because that's just a testament of who you were at that time. The real goal is, or the real gag, or whatever you want to call it, or what's real tea is, if I'm able to come back years from now and I've outlived or outgrown, that reputation, if I'm able to show like I'm not in that spot anymore. I think we live in a space now where like social media, where everything is out there, it doesn't go away. So it's like, it is kind of harder. Like, I mean, you even think about Chris Brown. I don't know we are around when Chris Brown did the situation with Rihanna.
I was just talking about that earlier.
And it's like,
oh my God.
I mean, I get it. Like, he should have went through what he went through, but it's like, you think about him now. He's just got off of an amazing tour. Like, but what if like nobody ever gave him a chance before? Like, that's just a chapter in his life where he made a mistake. Like, we are human. I had a conversation with my dad a couple months ago, and I was just saying, like, I wish my other siblings had a relationship with you, but like, they have this image of my dad. My dad was. He was stern. He was a different dad. He was an amazing father. I love my dad. Where's the camera? I love you, Dad. Okay, but no, seriously. But my siblings, they've made it up in their mind of like, this was his reputation or this was his image, and I don't forgive you. But when I've gotten grown and older, I've learned to believe like Sherman was a human being. He was a man trying to learn how to be a dad himself. Like, he made a mistake. Like, why is that? Like, you're not going to be able to have a relationship with him because he made that one mistake. Like, people are allowed to grow, and I think like. Yeah, I feel like your reputation it's not something that should follow you for the rest of your life. But I will say, if people do bring it up, like constantly bring it up, then that, for me, that makes me feel like that person is so small-minded. They haven't grown. Because if you're allowing who I was for so long to happen. Yeah.
I also seen like people from freshman year turn into whole different people. So I feel like that is true, because we were like at senior dinner dance, and we were like thinking about all of our old memories, and it was like most changed category. I'm like, dang, they really have grown. Like, I don't remember them acting like that freshman year. So I definitely have seen people grow from that.
I feel like I don't even know how to put it into words, y'all. You can change your reputation as long as it changes your legacy in a good way.
That was cute.
Jakaya, leave me alone.
I like that.
But as long as it changes your legacy in a good way, because I feel like your reputation is always going to affect your legacy. So I feel like whatever, you start with your reputation, if it's bad, oh well. Like, you can always trash that, boom, and fix everything.
We are constantly reinventing ourselves.
Yeah,
rebranding ourselves.
I am one to do that. Like, I'll be like, you know what? Like, I will delete all my social medias and stuff. Wait, I'll come back to y'all when I'm done transformating. Like, I don't know, like, so I just feel like as long as you can affect your legacy in a good way, in a positive way, and it doesn't, like, mess it up for your future generations or whatever the case is, then I feel like you're good.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. So with that, I'm gonna leave it up.
Jakaya told me 5 minutes.
Thank y'all so much for joining us. We are YLAG. Bye, guys.
Make sure y'all wait. Hold on. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, share. Do it. Go. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Dedicated, greatness around, every heart elated, mentors guiding, streets filled with dreams, planting seeds, yo, you know what it means. Volunteer vibes, energy unmatched, building our empire, every goal attached. Young lady